Hello, and thank you for joining us on this webinar. My name is Shola, and I'll be talking you through how to create your pre-launch ADCAPS in the LTSS system. I am currently authorized as a user with MDC Provider Nurse, as well as MDC Provider Admin permissions. I will navigate to the Client tab and locate my client using any one of these 6 input criteria: client ID, last name, first name, social security number, MA number, or date of birth. For the purposes of this webinar, I'll be locating my client using the client ID. The LTSS system will return all relevant results matching my input criteria. However, the most relevant result is typically sorted first. I will select the client summary hyperlink from the actions column to navigate to the client's record in LTSS. Now, most of you with clients already in LTSS are familiar with the client summary page. This is where you would go to see basic information about the client's enrollment in the LTSS system. To navigate to my ADCAPS, I will select the program's left nav menu and select the Assessment and Plan of Care option. The system will display the Assessment and Plan of Care list page where I can locate my ADCAPS list. Now let's pause to talk about who the pre-launch ADCAPS is for. Please note that your pre-launch ADCAPS is intended to alleviate some of the administrative burden in entering your full ADCAPS. It is available between July the 22nd and August the 10th. The pre-launch ADCAPS is only available to clients who are currently enrolled in the MDC waiver in the LTSS system. This means that if you are creating an ADCAPS for a client who is not currently enrolled, you will be automatically creating an initial ADCAPS, not a pre-launch ADCAPS. Again, the pre-launch ADCAPS is for clients who are currently enrolled in the MDC waiver in the LTSS system and do not have an ADCAPS on file. We'll see here that there are no ADCAPS for this client. And since I am authorized as a user with MDC Provider Nurse permissions, I am able to add my pre-launch ADCAPS. When I select the Add function on the ADCAPS blue panel, the system will display this message. To create your LTSS Maryland ADCAPS, you must first enter information about the client's most recent ADCAPS. I will select Yes to launch the pre-launch ADCAPS window. On the pre-launch ADCAPS window, we'll automatically see that the system captures basic information about the client and displays it here. The system also requires you to enter certain information before submitting your pre-launch ADCAPS. First, the system requires you to enter the type of ADCAPS that you have on file. This information is in the ADCAPS type drop-down menu. You will be able to select from one of the following 3 options: initial, 120-day, or significant change. For the purposes of this webinar, I will select initial. Next, I am able to enter the dates that I physically conducted the assessment. Please note that this field is not required to save or submit. It is optional. Typically, fields that are required to save will have the single red asterisk, and fields that are required to submit will have the double orange asterisk. For example, if I indicate that my assessment was conducted on 4/1, I can enter that information here. Please note that you cannot enter a date in the future in the assessment conducted on field. Next, the system will require me to enter the dates that I submitted the ADCAPS. For the purposes of this webinar, I will indicate that I submitted my ADCAPS on April the 2nd. Next, the system will require me to enter my next assessment due date. It's important to pause here and talk about these next two fields. One of the intents of the pre-launch ADCAPS is to start the clock in the LTSS system. The LTSS system tracks your assessment due date per COMAR regulations. An assessment must be conducted every 120 days. Next is the care plan due date. This is the date that you will convene your next multidisciplinary team. The system requires you to enter this field for the pre-launch ADCAPS and sets the clock starting from the dates that you enter in this field. So, as an example, my next care plan due date with a submit date of 4/2 for my existing ADCAPS should be no later than 8/2. I will select August the 2nd for my next assessment due date. And for my next care plan due date, I will select August the 15th. Finally, I will submit this pre-launch ADCAPS and show you how the system begins tracking your due dates. Once the record has been successfully saved, I can navigate to the list page, and here I will see a few things. Note that in the ADCAPS type field, the system has appended pre-launch to your selection. Therefore, if I selected 120 day in the ADCAPS type field, then I will see 120 day pre-launch. The system captures the date that I created the pre-launch ADCAPS. System is pre-populated in the provider type field. Here we can see that the ADCAPS is active, and I can select the details hyperlink to view the pre-launch ADCAPS. Please note that I can take no additional actions on the pre-launch ADCAPS once I have submitted it. Next, let's go to the My List functionality and view how the system tracks or starts the clock for the ADCAPS. I will navigate to the My List tab. And from the My List tab, I can expand the My Client List left nav option and select the MDC option. The system will display the form name dropdown where I can select ADCAPS. Once I've selected my ADCAPS, I can select additional input criteria to describe the ADCAPS that I am trying to locate. For instance, you'll see here that I can track all ADCAPS that are in progress. I can track my assessments due in 30 days or less. I can track all assessments due in 60 days or less. And I can track all my assessments that are overdue. Now, in this particular scenario, you remember that I mentioned that I am authorized as a user with both administrative and nurse permissions. If I were authorized as a user with just admin permissions, I would only see the all options. I would not see the my options. But since I have both admin and non-admin permissions, then I will see both the all options as well as the My options. Now, to track the pre-launch ADCAPS that we just created, with a next assessment due date of 8/2, we should expect that the system should capture this information in the assessments due in 30 days or less input filter. I will select that option and select filter. And here is my client for whom I have created my pre-launch ADCAPS. I am able to view the ADCAPS list page, or let's go look at what the care plan list looks like. With a next care plan due date of 8/15, I expect the system to begin tracking my care plans in the All ADCAPS Due or Overdue Care Plans input filter. I will select that option, and I will select the filter option to display my results. Here is my client for whom I have created the initial pre-launch ADCAPS. Again, I am able to select the View hyperlink in the Actions column to go to that client's record in the LTSS system. This concludes the Pre-Launch ADCAPS webinar. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.